And I'm Steve Overmyer.
Severe weather barreling through the tri-state area today. One message to the men who are watching out there right now.
Agreed,
be a gentleman.
Steve. That's
be a gentleman.
Right. Be a gentleman. You know.
Well, if you're just waking up, here's a quick update on some of the stories we're following this morning. Will Hill tying the game, and he can burn it lean. Watch him burn it lean. This is 3 straight wins. Are you starting to make believers out of everybody? Definitely. He's the lightning rod. He's the guy you'd want to go with. All right, John Elliott with your forecast at 547. Question still remains, and I couldn't find it anywhere. Who won the fight? I think that's ultimately
Steve, you asked the hard-hitting questions.
Well, what were they arguing
These
about?
are the things that matter.
Another good question.
Well, yeah, you know what I find so interesting is that the NFL loves the offense. They love the fantasy football numbers that the Denver Broncos put up this year. More than 600 points, the most potent offense in NFL history. But it was this relentless defense, aptly named the Legion of Boom, that shut them down.
Well, firefighters say the wildfire is still burning in California, one of the fastest moving they've seen in 50 years.
Is this game going to come down to those jump balls where you just throw it up there and see what happens? Because of the lack of execution on the offensive side, do you sense any resentment from the defense, and how do you try to quell that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just natural.
The Spurs shot 62% in the first half. Second half adjustments, well, there were none. Long Island's Danny Green left wide open all afternoon, knocking down 3-pointers. The Knicks lose by 31 points. The offense is shaping up nicely. New York's go-ahead goal came off another nice pass. Carl Hagelin and Brad Richards. Rangers win 4-3. We got our hands on Santa's naughty and nice list. It's Matt Harvey or David Wright. Who's nicer?
Matt.
David.
David.
Santa likes the captain's heart, but he loved Matt Harvey's breakout season. Lower on St. Nick's naughty list, Jason Kidd or Mike Woodson?
Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd. He's been naughty with that cup.
Hit me. Neither of these two coaches have had a great season. Kidd, though,
there it is.
He dropped a little bit lower with that little hit me move.
Oldest trick in the book, yeah.
He did get points for creativity for getting that extra time out, though. Yeah. Santa was not a fan of Jason Kidd.
Yeah, it's really helping his team, too.
He sees everything.
Steve Overmyer's here with your CBS 2 WFAN Sports Update, and a big day for the Jets.
Big day for the Jets, and hopefully a big day here for Rex Ryan, because last night Rex Ryan reportedly told his team that he is out unless they win their final 2 games. Does he really believe the Jets would fire him after he exceeded expectations? Maybe it was just a motivational tool that worked. Today against the Browns, the Jets offense looked pretty good now that everybody's healthy. Geno Smith had a passer rating of 91.7, one of his best games of the season, 2 touchdowns, both to David Nelson, a guy the Browns cut in camp. Redemption, though, sweetest for Dean Milliner. Vilified for poor plays the whole season, he rose to the challenge. His 5 pass deflections tied Darrelle Revis's team record. He also hauled in his first interception, and he led the team with 9 tackles. Nice day for him. As for Geno, this is how valuable his legs can be. 10 carries, 48 yards, and that speed burst to get to the end zone. The Jets had this game in control thanks to 208 rushing yards, and then there's Ed Reed. He got into it with the media this week, but he closed out the game in style. This guy has more interceptions than any active player in the NFL. Jets win 24-13, and afterwards, Rex took the team on a victory lap. All right, the Jets, by the way, are now in the same position as the Giants were last week. They pretty much need to run the table for a chance to make the playoffs. Certainly not an expectation for this team this year, but their performance in the past 3 weeks have left a lot to be desired. And it starts with Geno Smith. Against the Dolphins, it was as poor a performance as we've seen, and the fans let him know about it. Smith was missing receivers. He threw an interception. He only threw for 29 yards, and he was booed. Ultimately benched at the half. Jets were only down 6-0 at the break, though, but Ryan Tannehill picking apart the defense, 331 yards, and terrible tackling continuing to haunt the Jets. Brian Hartline makes it 13-0, and teams continue to pick on that guy, Dean Milliner. And with good reason, the first-round pick giving up a bad touchdown to Mike Wallace, and as a result, he was benched. So the Jets' first and second-round picks both benched in this game. And as for Geno's replacement, Matt Sims, he didn't fare any better with this stable of weapons, which makes you wonder if you can really get a true assessment of Geno's ability this year. After a 23-3 embarrassment today, a quarterback change is on the table. But will this team be any better off?
To the end zone, touchdown, Demaryius Thomas.
Broncos Pro Bowl receiver Demaryius Thomas is about to play in the biggest game of his life. But his mother and grandmother will be forced to watch from prison.
It is kind of tough right now. You know, it's tough. You know, I think about them all the time. I wish they was here with me, but you know, I get emotional, but it is tough.
When Thomas was just 12, his grandmother Minnie was sentenced to life for making and distributing crack cocaine. Her cellmate is Demaryius's mother, Katina.
she's serving 20 years. What kind of lesson do you think that you've learned from your mother and your grandmother?
Since they've been in, you know, they try to tell me life is not easy, you know, take advantage of it. Don't let nobody bother you or mess with your head, because if you think too much, you'll do something crazy.
Thomas has used his family's ordeal as motivation for his success, but also a chance to send a message.
Just got to know your surroundings, you know, got to know what's going on. I feel like you can't do stuff like that because you see what happened in my family.
With his childhood, it would have been easy for Thomas to fail. Instead, he's on the brink of his greatest triumph.
I'm going to put it all out here on the field.
Steve Overmyer, CBS 2 News.